how are you? I hope you're good. Welcome to day 2 of 7 days of top 7s. So today we're gonna talk about thought-provoking books. So this is not necessarily ones that you know, like changed your life or anything. It might just be something that you sat and thought, huh, you know, interesting. I feel like I need to say it again that most of these things are gonna be repeats of my previous top 7s, but I just really wanted to do it so I can watch other people do these things as well. At number 7, we have Room by Emma Donoghue, and so this is the book that I had for the book in the jar. So if you've read this book and you want to see like a prolonged video of my thoughts, there's like an hour's worth of that. You're welcome. Yeah, Room is about, it's actually a movie, so you might have heard of it. Room is about 2 captured people who are stuck in this room, and one of them did not see anything outside of it because it's a kid, and it is written from a kid's perspective, so it's sometimes a little bit weird to read, but obviously it's very thought-provoking because it deals with us seeing from a perspective of a person who grew up in the room, so they don't have the perspective of the real life, so to speak. Thought-provoking. Number 6 is an audiobook, and that one is We Are Legion, We Are Bob. That one might sound silly because it is. It's a very funny book, and I do recommend it if you're looking for a funny sci-fi, but it's thought-provoking because the main character actually dies in like the first chapter, and he just sort of like for the fun of it signed up for this program that's gonna possibly save his brain, and until they have a way to revive him, and he sort of comes back in the form of a computer and then is sent onto this mission to... It's based on this theory that there's a self-replicating drone out in the space and how that would work, and it was very thought-provoking, and I actually really enjoyed it because that, not like a heavy topic, but that like thought-provoking topic paired with sci-fi humor was just like a really big hit in my head. Number 5 is Girl Interrupted, and this is all about mental health institutions, and it was really interesting to read about that. It was not thought-provoking for me specifically because it wasn't something that I expected. I think it was very exaggerated. I feel like the author is a dramatic person, so that is why it seemed really not vivid but like exaggerated, so it was really interesting to see, and it was again really funny, more funny than I expected it to be. But it was thought-provoking because that was interesting to see from the author's perspective how it is to be institutionalized for your mental health back in 1967. So even nowadays we're still trying to get the society to look at mental health as a normal illness, just as a physical illness, but it's still in the works basically, and you know, in 1967 it was even more so. So it was really interesting for that. Number 4 is another audiobook, and that is The Forgetting. Didn't forget this for once, and it was interesting and thought-provoking because it was one of those weird settings where in the world there is a period of time that you're supposed to sort of like write down everything that you want to remember, because after that period ends, your memory is wiped away? What's the right? Wiped out, yeah. Your memory is wiped out and you have no recollection of what happened, and the only point of reference is your life book that you're writing. So it was really thought-provoking because you can choose not to write something. If you can choose to write yourself into a different family. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's completely like up to you. I find that a lot of dystopians could be, because it's obviously some sort of messed up life order, you know, just how it works. Even for Hunger Games, I didn't actually write those in there, but it could be like number 3, because Hunger Games obviously is very thought-provoking in the sense that you just sit there like, shit, I'm glad I don't live there. So that could share a place with number 3, which is like a cheeky answer of mine because I clearly struggled, and obviously I sort of felt like I need to include this, and that's the little philosophy books that I read in my philosophy course when I was studying. I didn't study philosophy, but I had a module for philosophy, and I couldn't tell you for the life of me now which one was my favorite. I do remember liking them all. I don't remember how different they were. But like, it's very clearly thought-provoking because it's philosophy and you're supposed to be provoked to think. So yeah, so this one is Meditation on First Philosophy, and then it's David Hume and the Inquiry Concerning Human Understanding, and then we have Kant and Groundwork of the Metaphysics of Morals. I think that one was my favorite, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's like, I had to be in there, but does it count? I don't know. And then number 2 is another audiobook. I feel like it's just like a book audiobook. And that one is In Order to Live. I've spoken about this quite a few times. This is a book written, it's sort of like an autobiography thing, I suppose, written by North Korean women, and it's a story of how she tried to escape it and her journey escaping it into South Korea and China, and how things did not go right, and it's really eye-opening if you are not familiar with the situation there. So obviously it was very thought-provoking as well. And then number one we have Genesis, and this is by Bernard Beckett. This one is always so hard to describe because the whole book is like what is happening, and then you realize what is happening. If you didn't guess, you only realize it at the almost, I think it's actually the last page. So it's very hard for me to say something without giving it away, but once you hit that last page you're like, oh, alright. It's set during an examination that our main character is taking, and it's set in like 3 parts for each hour, and you're following the story that she's telling the examinators, but like not everyone is who you think they are, and then there's the big reveal at the end. There's literally nothing I can say without spoiling it in one way or another. So I'm not gonna, just try it. It's a very short book, and like this one only looks bigger because of the format, but like look at the spacing and the size of the letters there. It's literally really quick read. So that is actually everything. I feel like I've managed to go through those quite quickly, so hope you enjoyed it. I, as always, leave the link to your videos down below. I am really excited to see your videos and your picks for these. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow for audiobook. See you tomorrow. Bye!